Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This will be the last one on ATP. If you want to find out more, I'll have it on the website when it's ready, and then take it from there. Let's go on to the function. It's used for a lot of cell functions, including transport work, moving substances across cell membranes. It's also used for mechanical work, supplying the energy needed for muscle and blood circulation, energy for the heart, skeletal muscle, such as gross body movement, but also the chromosomes and flagella to enable and carry out many functions. The major role of ATP is in chemical work, supplying the energy needed to synthesize multi-thousand types of macromolecules that the cell needs to exist. Whoa. I also found that without ATP, you're dead in minutes. Or any of the molecules that block ATP, you're going to die in minutes. It's also using an off switch to control chemical reactions. And that's roughly the structure. There's billions of ATP molecules in a cell. Right. And without it, your cell won't exist. So, look after your ATP. It ain't just for bodybuilding. No, it's not. Well, it could be. Where you come to the figures. Right. It hooks and unhooks the last phosphate on ATP. It's what the whole world is operating on. So it does all its work, and then it goes into the cell. Oh, it dies. The mitochondria absorb it, recharge it, send it back out with another molecule. So that's ATP for you. And it transfers energy. Now without that transfer, you ain't got no energy. Now, the amount of activity is enormous, and that occurs inside each cell. And you've got about 100 trillion cells, and in any instance, each cell contains 1 billion ATP molecules, ATP. And that amount is only sufficient for the cell's need for a few minutes. And it's got to be rapid recycled. Now there's about 10 to the 23 or 1 sextillion ATP molecules normally exist in the body. Whoa. And for every minute, the terminal phosphate is added and removed 3 times. So that's a lot of cells. So if you want to look after it, there's a few herbs that help, not just ATP, but mainly ATP. And goat's rue is one of them. That's goat's rue officinalis. That's got guanidine in it. It's hypoglycemic effect. It's got a positive effect on insulin receptor expression and tyrosine kinase activity. It's a pharmacological inhibitor, and it's a reduced prostaglandin production. It influence equals an increase in recovery rate and ATP energy. That's after you've had a burst of energy. Forkskillen enhances any energy production in every cell. And assists the treatment of hypothyroidism by stimulating production and release of thyroid hormones. It facilitates weight loss in people afflicted with obesity by stimulating the production of CAMP, which in turn regulates the production of lipolysis. It inhibits endogenous synthesis of fatty acid in adipocytes. Now, a few of these words I ain't too sure what they mean, but hey, that's what you'll Google or a dictionary. Now, a dictionary is one of those things in paper you open and close, and you don't need the internet. Anyhow, goat's roux lowers elevated blood sugar and glucose due to the galgine content of goat's roux. Helps to prevent cross-linking, prevents the formation of toxic glycosylation and end products. And it's also used for production of pharmaceutical drugs. Right, there's more and more on that, but hey, we're not bothering anymore on goat's roux. Nearly coming to an end. They're massive on resveratrol. That's found in grape skins, seeds, stalks, vines and roots, but not in the flesh of the fruit. Resveratrol concentration in the grape skin is 50 to 100 microgram, or 5 to 10,000 microgram per 100 grams. Whoa, that's not a lot. Anyway, we're going to resveratrol. It's still open on that. It's a mild estrogen stimulator. So that'll be it. Anyhow, the base adenine is a part of the structure, that's ATP. And the sugar ribose, they form the nucleose adenosine. The basic building blocks used to construct ATP are carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen and phosphorus, which are assembled in a complex that contains a number of subatomic parts equivalent to 500 hydrogen atoms, one phosphate parts. Anyhow, this goes on, too technical, but the sun's shining and it's first thing in the morning. There's Asta. So ATP is essential for life. Without it, you ain't got none. So do your research, do homework, and you'll find dozens of herbs or herbal plants that will help. And that's it on ATP. We've got one recipe in there that's pretty common. So have a great day. See ya.